Okay, the IC100 test. I got this as a burnt out shell. Basically the power amp and also oddly the preamp board had quite a lot of on fire components at some point. Of course it's all been repaired. It's got a brand new faceplate from England, OEM. Obviously the sweet luminescent panel works, and also the main switch lights up as well. Like the depth knob for the tremolo unfortunately didn't work. It was broken. All the other ones are good. I've cleaned them all out and I've replaced this one. Also added a volume knob at the back, which I'll explain. Basically, I don't know why HH did it this way. They've got a studio and stage switch which cuts the volume by probably a lot. It makes it maybe 1/3 as loud. I don't really understand the point. They could have just put a knob there. And I like having the master volume because you could run it on stage and you can drive the whole preamp a bit more. It just sounds better when it's loud, but it is also really loud. And if you turn up the master volume, it's quite insane. I mean, it's 100 watts, but it's proper 100 watts. It's really quite a lot of power. I've got it running through this the speaker box in my Laney. The speaker that's being recorded is a Swamp Thang, Eminence Swamp Thang, and the other one's a Celestion V30. Anyway, of course the guitar is the Bernie Les Paul again, because it just sounds good in this. Alright, we'll start off with the clean channel. I've got the presence on 7. The treble at about -1.5, the bass at about 1, and I've got the preamp volume at 6. The neck pickup. I made a foot switch for it. Didn't have it obviously. The standard foot switches, there's one for the sustain effect and one for the tremolo and reverb, which it's kind of, I don't know why they did that. So I just made one pedal in one. Much more convenient. The tremolo is pretty cool. I'll do the reverb first. The reverb's quite a nice spring reverb. It's at about 4. If I turn it up all the way, it's really quite loud. Has a cool onboard tremolo. This is with the speed at about, let's go about 4, and the depth at about 5. it's really crazy the range of adjustment as well. Like, you pretty much get nothing at about 3. A bit less, there we go. Quite subtle. And it's insane when you turn it all the way up. The speed control is also pretty brutal. And now the all-important, the money shot for this guitar, this amp really, the sustain effect. Alright, so this is the 1976, and the sustain circuitry for these changes throughout every year. The only schematic I could get was for the 1971, and this was different in some ways. There's an extra resistor in line with the op amp that distorts, and there's a really big difference between a noticeable difference between the clean sound and the sustain effect, and I tried to minimize it as much as possible while still having decent sustain. It's mostly just run the guitar volume at 6 or 7 and it works fine. But anyway, I'll crank up the sustain. And through the bridge pickup, the neck pickup rather. You get some pretty good interaction with the tremolo and the reverb as well, obviously. The louder you bash it though, the more the tremolo effect just gets drowned out. Yeah, both channels work. The other channel's more for keyboards and other instruments like that. It still has some usefulness, I guess, if you wanted to run pedals through it. It's really, really bright though. Like the brilliance is set at 3, and I'll set the treble at about -2, and it's bright. This isn't even the bright input. with the neck pickup. Cool.